This is the mysterious Pangu continent. Everyone else is still hiding out in the safe zone. But you've already surpassed the gods, all because you logged in 500 years early. Not only can you snatch up epic treasures at will, but you've also awakened a pair of titanium eyes that can scan all of creation. Right now, you're looking up at the sky, screaming in loneliness. Who the hell set me up on this blind date? The soft morning sunlight is just perfect for sleeping, until a heavy knock on the door ruins it. Bro, it's already 10 o'clock. I even went out of my way to buy you breakfast. After enjoying your breakfast, you start playing around with your newly awakened superpower. It's a pocket dimension that only fits yourself, while letting you observe the outside world. You can only hold it for 2 or 3 hours at most. Any longer, and you'll pass out from mental exhaustion. This spatial ability sounds pretty high-end and all, but honestly, I have no idea what it's good for. Ether psionic network successfully constructed. A total of 781,237,896 intelligent civilizations have been selected. Wait, who is talking? You look around, thinking you were just hearing things. This is the Primordial Interstellar Alliance. Commencing the 9th Epic Civilization screening. The Pangu continent is currently generating. Attention, Earth's human race. 17 cities, representing 17 branches of human civilization, are now being teleported to the Pangu continent's safe zone. The Primordial Interstellar Alliance's civilization screening. While you're standing in your pocket dimension, looking completely clueless, ground beneath your feet suddenly vanishes. Earth is just gone, and you find yourself floating in the vacuum of space. A famous quote flashes through your mind. That's one small step for me, one giant leap for mankind. I am the very first human to float into space using just my physical body. The reality is, Earth is gone, yet I was left behind right here. One by one, cities wrapped in what look like giant soap bubbles are flying off in a specific direction at blinding speeds. These cities are heading straight for the safe zone. I'm a part of humanity too. You scream at the top of your lungs, but no one answers you. After who knows how long, the cold, mechanical voice rings out again. Attention, all civilization branches have arrived at the safe zone. The flow of time within the safe zone is only 1% of the Pangu continent. Each civilization may hold a vote to deactivate their safe zone and explore the Pangu continent. The 9th Epic Civilization screening begins now. In the midst of your despair, you quickly analyze the Interstellar Alliance's true goal. They want to weed out the weak and find the strongest civilization. Each city represents a different one. Once a civilization unites its people, they can hold a public vote to bring down their safe zone. Then, they can officially march into the Pangu continent. Or, they can just hide like cowards in the safe zone forever. The price is steep. For every 100 years other civilizations advance, you only get 1 year of progress in the safe zone. That's basically choosing self-extinction. But wait, what does any of this have to do with me? Am I a one-man civilization now? The so-called Pangu continent slowly reveals itself in the cosmos. This landmass is astronomically massive. It's basically an infinitely expanding version of Earth. Suddenly, you realize something. You're only tens of thousands of meters from the surface. A surge of excitement hits you. Is there actually hope for me? You stick a single finger out of your pocket dimension. Caught by gravity, your little pocket dimension bubble starts a slow, terrifying free fall. After what feels like an eternity, smack. It feels so good to have my feet on solid ground again. But wait, this Pangu continent feels a bit off. These trees are 300 to 500 meters tall, and I can faintly hear wild beasts roaring in the distance. How am I supposed to survive this? I didn't even bring a pocket knife with me. All I have on me is my phone. Then, that cold, robotic voice echoed again. Generating civilization milestone system. Warning, an omitted civilization branch has been detected. Adding the 18th branch of human civilization. Current total population. 1. Civilization ID. 7812, HSKKJ-18. Please memorize your civilization ID. Congratulations to your civilization for unlocking a unique milestone. The first pioneer of the 9th era. Very first among all civilizations to leave the safe zone. It took me a long time to process that. The Interstellar Alliance actually registered me as an entire civilization? What a sick joke. Humanity would never reach a consensus without at least 10 years of endless bickering. Lifting the safe zone within 20 years. That would already be a miracle on Earth. 1 year in the safe zone means 100 years have passed for me out here. I'd be long dead by then. That cold voice spoke up again. Your civilization has earned a milestone reward. Pioneer's Eye. This ability reveals information about most objects. A random individual will receive this. Transmitting reward now. I'm the only one in the 18th branch. What's there to randomize? A beam of light struck my right eye. When I woke up, drenched in cold sweat, I realized I had gained a new ability called the Pioneer's Eye. I subconsciously glanced at the ground. A boring weed. Your digestive system cannot process this. If you want to experience the agony of constipation, feel free to take a bite. Then I looked at another weed. A boring weed. The roots are rich in polysaccharides and can be steeped in water to drink. It provides a small amount of energy and has detoxifying and anti-inflammatory properties. The massive amount of information flooding into my right eye almost made me dizzy. I then looked at my right hand. The right hand of a boring person. Due to years of excessive use, it suffers from slight tendinitis. I have to admit, this ability is incredibly overpowered. Does this mean I can actually survive? At least finding food won't be an issue anymore. I put on a determined look. As long as I unlock enough milestones, I can literally buff myself into a superhuman. Then I'll trek millions of miles. I will find the safe zone, and lead humanity straight to the top. Suddenly, a python as thick as a barrel burst out of the river. A slightly capable snake seems to want to turn you into its next meal. Currently, you are absolutely no match for it. My pupils shrank in terror. In the nick of time, I activated my pocket dimension ability. The python completely missed me. It looked confused, wondering why its juicy meal had suddenly vanished into thin air. It slithered around for over an hour before finally swaggering away. When I deactivated the pocket dimension, my clothes were completely drenched in sweat. Thank God it didn't just wait around to ambush me, or I'd be dead meat. I picked up a brown snake scale from the ground. It was the size of my palm and hard as iron. This looks like a pretty decent weapon. After putting in some work, I managed to craft a simple axe. The Pioneer's Eye prompted, tool resembling an axe. This signifies that the user has entered the Stone Age. You cautiously walk up to the riverbank. It's just ordinary mountain spring water. The chances of getting sick from drinking it straight are pretty low. But it's still best to boil it first before drinking, cupping it with both hands. It has a pure, natural sweetness to it. You scream in your heart. Interstellar Alliance, give me my milestone right now. I am the very first person to drink from a river on the Pangea continent. But the sound of a reward never comes. Frustrated, you stare at your reflection in the river. A totally run-down guy, giving off a completely lost vibe. You can't help but laugh at your own ridiculous thoughts. Let's just focus on surviving tonight first. You gather up some dry branches, and pull up a few edible wild weeds. The woods are also crawling with bugs. Edible ones, too. They are packed with protein, and they taste just like chicken when roasted. You keep walking forward. Suddenly, a tiny glimmer of light catches your eye in the distance. You hold your breath, gripping your snake scale axe tightly. You carefully sneak forward for a few dozen meters. There, resting on a pile of rocks, is a rusty, rotting van. Its tires are completely gone. Why on earth is there a car here? It looks like some leftover relic from an 8th era civilization. Wow, your civilization is so advanced. Finding ancient ruins this fast. My civilization literally consists of one person. Advanced my foot. You peek inside the van a few times. There's a shattered skeleton in there. About 1.4 meters tall. Your first instinct is to get the heck away from it. But you really need this van to survive your first night. Biting the bullet, you bury the bones in a shallow little pit, and pay your respects a couple of times. The second you crawl into the van, a cold, robotic voice chimes in. The human civilization you belong to has discovered a relic of the 8th era civilization. Congratulations on unlocking the unique milestone, First Explorer of the 9th era. Milestone reward, Eye of the Explorer. Grants the ability to detect civilization relics and potential treasures. Awarded to one random person. Reward is now transmitting. Suddenly, a beam of white light blasts perfectly into your left eye. By the time you wake up from passing out, it's already evening. These unique milestones these days sure are easy to trigger, but they literally knock you out cold. Good thing you were sitting in the van. Getting snatched up by a wild animal while unconscious would not be fun at all. Now both of your eyes have turned into super-powered titanium eyes. You activate the Eye of the Explorer, and instantly, colorful glowing auras flood your vision. Red represents danger, while green represents civilization relics. Gold represents treasure, but what really blows your mind is, the entire ground is glowing with a massive green aura. There must be at least a whole city-level ruin buried down there. You can spot flashes of gold and red, too. This little van you're sitting in is just a tiny drop in the ocean of these ruins. You get super excited for a second, but then let out a defeated sigh. What does any of this have to do with me? What, am I supposed to dig up this whole city with my bare hands? If a steaming, delicious bowl of beef ramen were placed right in front of me right now, I would totally choose the beef ramen instead. Oh man, just thinking about it is making my mouth water. No, I can't think about food anymore. Dragging your exhausted body. Water, fire, shelter, and food. The 4 absolute essentials for survival. You can't survive without fire. But rubbing sticks together? That's way too much work. So, you end up sacrificing your own phone. With a soft poof, a flame symbolizing light finally appears. You scavenge a piece of scrap metal from a car, bending and scraping it into a makeshift pot. You head down to the river for some water, grabbing some grass roots and wild weeds. You boil them up in the metal pot. Man, it doesn't taste great. Honestly, it has this weird, indescribable bitterness to it. Squatting there all alone in the forest, a deep sense of loneliness starts washing over you. The sun is already rising in the east. Smack, you crush a mosquito that was biting you. So it really isn't a dream, huh? You grumble in frustration for a bit. Trudging slowly down the valley, you pick up a metal soda can. Hey, this could work as a cup. Oh, and you also stumble upon a car. Too bad it's completely wrecked. Wait, danger spotted. A wild creature, looks like a leopard, growling and snarling at you from its throat. You chuck the soda can right at it. The leopard gets completely spooked. It bolts away in a flash. Yeah, you better run. Come any closer and you'd be my leopard steak today. Honestly, you were scared to death. You were even ready to hide in your pocket dimension for a sneak attack. Who knew it would just run away like that? Moving on, you find a giant man-eating plant. Its branches and leaves cover the sky for thousands of meters, and the main stalk is a solid 100 meters tall. This man-eating plant packs supernatural power, but its fruit is loaded with all the nutrients a human body needs. Too bad you are absolutely no match for it. You just end up as plant food. No wonder there's a massive, glowing aura of gold and red here. Ah, so it's a giant man-eating plant. And man, those fruits are the size of footballs. That smell, it's absolutely heavenly. Oh, my sweet interstellar alliance, please. If you just let one fruit drop, I swear I'll bow down and worship you right now. Not a single fruit falls down. You won't even give me that? Fine. You end up picking 42 little red berries off the ground. They're about the size of peanuts. Your pioneer's eye gives you a prompt. A boring, slightly nutritious fruit. It's not poisonous, but it tastes so bad that no one would ever eat it. Well, if no one else wants it, I'll take it. I am literally starving. I don't even care what it tastes like anymore. If I don't find real food soon, I'll have to go back to eating grass roots and bugs. A massive cluster of collapsed buildings flashes with a green and gold aura. Awesome, you found the city ruins. You casually dig into the dirt, and pull out a solid gold necklace just like that. This thing has to weigh at least 500 grams. I'll just come back for it later. I really can't handle an extra half kilo of dead weight right now. Looking around, these ruins must be hundreds of years old. Even the vacuum-sealed canned food has completely rotted away. You decide to pick out the biggest, most intact building. It totally gives off Fallout Shelter vibes. Who knows, maybe there's actually some food hidden inside. You find a thick, heavy mechanical door. Even without power, it can still be opened. The passcode is 20260606. Holy crap, is my pioneer's eye seriously this overpowered? You punch in the numbers. The heavy metal door creaks open, and a blast of stale, rotting air hits you right in the face. Suddenly, a blur of black lightning launches straight at your head. You instantly activate your pocket dimension. What the hell? It's a basketball-sized spider. Age, roughly 2.5 years old. You actually dared to bully me? Spiders are just bugs, too. Big and delicious. Half-starved and crazed, you burst out of the alternate dimension and fiercely swung the snake scale axe. The spider collapsed onto the ground, completely motionless. Panting heavily, you thought, let's charcoal grill this thing. It shouldn't be poisonous, right? I just need to remove the shell and guts. There's gotta be like 5 pounds of meat on this. Is this even a spider? These are totally chicken legs. But right after, the dark humor struck again. In your human civilization, you were the first to kill a higher-tier transcendent lifeform. Congratulations on achieving the unique milestone, first hunter of the 9th epoch. Milestone reward, inventory space. Creates a portable storage dimension where the flow of time is virtually paused. Perfect for preserving your loot. Reward is now being transferred. What the hell? This spider was a higher-tier transcendent lifeform? It would probably need to grow for another 100 years to actually count as one. It's definitely because I played dirty. Rushing into the ruins on day 2 to butcher it. Come on, give me a combat ability. Once again, a familiar flash of light struck with pinpoint accuracy right into your mind. It took 2 whole hours before you finally regained your senses. Unlike your alternate dimension ability, this one cannot hold conscious living creatures. Based on your current power level, you can open up a space of about 1 cubic meter. You picked up the spider and walked further in. Whoa, this is actually a data center? It was packed to the brim with things that looked like supercomputer mainframes. You made your way down to the basement archives. The physical files were made of acid-free paper. The pioneer's eye gave a prompt, currently deciphering the civilization's text. A certain amount of time is required. Row after row of glass doors blocked the path. You knocked on them, they were incredibly thick. No survivors here. Still, this data center is a great spot. At least it's way safer than sleeping out in the wild, you comforted yourself. You headed back to yesterday's campsite to fetch some embers. By the time you made the round trip, it was already afternoon. First things first, time for a massive spider barbecue feast. The pioneer's eye started roasting you again. A purgatory demon spider, born exactly 1 day ago, was brutally ambushed to death by your dirty tactics. If it had been allowed to grow for a few years, it might have provided an excellent transcendent seed. Setting aside the venom gland and organs, all other parts were perfectly safe to eat. The eyeball-like pattern on its back possessed a subtle, mind-shocking psychological effect. That little sac flashing with red light, that's definitely the venom gland. You carefully placed it into an iron box. The venom gland of a purgatory demon spider contains a vicious neurotoxin that you absolutely cannot withstand right now. You snapped off a few of the spider's long, meaty legs and started grilling them over the charcoal. Sizzle and pop, a bizarre smell wafted up, but it was mixed with a rich, mouth-watering meaty aroma. You braced yourself and took a bite. Wait, why does this taste just like beef? A warm current surged wildly through your stomach. The energy contained within a transcendent life form was incredibly high. 1 single spider is going to feed me for at least 3 days. Alright, Star Alliance, for the sake of letting me eat my fill today. I won't cuss you out, but if you could toss me a beautiful wife too, I'd become your ultimate, die-hard fan. You know what? Since I'm already asking, I might as well push my luck a little more. Then my future wife better be a goddess descending from the heavens. And she better be totally head over heels for me. Suddenly, the sky fills with dark clouds. A flash of golden lightning splits a massive tree right in half, and in the blink of an eye, a heavy downpour begins. I'm so glad I found a shelter to block the wind and rain. In the dim glow of the firelight, you start planning your next steps. The venom glands can be used to make poison. I need to store those carefully. As for the hooks on the spider's legs, they can be used as toothpicks or even, needles for sewing clothes. And as for the guts, they'll be perfect for catching fish. The cold, mechanical prompt echoes again, initiating the attribute system for all living creatures. With data observation unlocked, higher-tier beings can view the stats of lower-tier beings. You snap back to reality and inspect yourself. Just a boring, ordinary human. You are currently full, and using the pioneer's eye. Physique, 5.4. Spirit, 4.5. Transcendent level, level 1. Innate abilities, alternate dimension, pioneer's eye, explorer's eye and storage space. System evaluation. This person is completely mediocre. He hasn't even stepped onto the path of transcendence, yet possesses 4 innate abilities. Truly a rare sight in this world. You rub your temples in frustration. My current strength is just too pathetic. Thank goodness there are ruins of an ancient civilization right under my feet. I should just get some sleep first. Early the next morning, you enjoy a hearty roasted spider leg, and begin your new life of scavenging in the wild. Following a glimmer of golden light, you stumble upon a storage crate. It's about 1 cubic meter in size. A pretty decent container. You also find a 10-meter long vine. It's incredibly sturdy. This will work perfectly as a rope. Not bad at all. It weighs well over 10 pounds. Its destructive power is definitely higher than the snake scale axe. This has to be at least an SR tier weapon. Inside a collapsed house, you find another piece of loot, a toolbox. Things like the scissors are still usable. And finally, you run into a one-eyed wild wolf. It's baring its fangs and snarling viciously right at you. The pioneer's eye quickly reveals its details. A very common wild animal. It's an old wolf, driven out of its pack because of its advanced age. Disease and starvation mean it won't survive for more than a few days anyway. Transcendent level, level 0. You aren't actually thinking of eating me, are you? You gulp nervously and step forward, gripping your axe. Your base stats aren't even that good. I could chop you to death in a few swings, you hear me? But wait, such a massive wolf, and it's actually trembling slightly. It's terrified of dying. Surprisingly, a sudden wave of pity washes over you. You toss a chunk of the spider's guts over to it. This is the flesh and blood of a transcendent creature. That's more than enough for you to have a full meal. But if you keep following me, don't blame me for getting nasty. Honestly, I'd really love to eat you too. You finally make it to the river, and take the storage crate you found earlier. Modifying it into a makeshift fish trap, you toss in some of those spider guts as bait, tie it securely with the vine, and sink it to the bottom of the water. Here's hoping for a massive haul tomorrow. And just like that, your 3rd day comes to an end. Life here is almost too fulfilling. You don't even have time to stress over all the crazy things happening to you, before drifting off into a heavy sleep. A new day has begun. Axe in hand, you head to the river at the crack of dawn. If the fishing trap is a huge success, you can solve your food problem once and for all. Along the way, you put your scavenging skills to work, picking up some junk, soda cans, bottles, a broken transistor radio, and a backpack. You stuff it all into your inventory space. Then, your luck goes through the roof. You spot a faint golden gleam in the tall grass. What in the world? It's a metal box holding a brown glass bottle. Inside are dozens of little red pills. The pioneer's right eye displays the stats. Medicine containing trace amounts of supernatural elements. Boosts the immune system. Cures most bacterial infections, even though it expired ages ago. The packaging is airtight, so maybe it still works. At the very least, it's an SSR tier treasure. Could feeding that wolf yesterday have caused a massive karma boost? Good luck comes in pairs. Getting to the river's fishing trap. The big box is shaking slightly. There's definitely fish inside, you just don't know how many. Carefully scanning your surroundings, making sure no river monster drags you underwater. You wouldn't have known if you hadn't looked. You're not hiding in the grass to ambush me, are you? What a backstabbing wolf. The old wolf seems to know it's been busted, slowly creeping out from the tall grass. Wagging its big, filthy tail. This guy doesn't seem hostile at all. So, you go right ahead and pop open the trap. Oh, boy. Over a dozen fish, big and small, are flapping around in there. The biggest ones weigh over 5 pounds. You are in an awesome mood. You casually grab one and toss it to the old wolf who won't stop wagging its tail. You stuff all the fish into your inventory space, then gut one of the big ones. And throw the insides back into the trap. Here's hoping for another massive haul tomorrow. True angler never goes home empty-handed. Turning around, you see the filthy old wolf, wagging its tail all over again. Have you completely thrown away your dignity? You can't help but think to yourself. Kind of stupid, a somewhat sneaky wolf, just desperate to survive. You are pretty amused by this guy. I've got a bottle of little red pills right here. I don't know if they actually work, so I'll just use you as my guinea pig. If you die, don't blame me. If you live, count your lucky stars. You immediately pull one out and shove it into some fish guts. The old wolf acts like it hasn't eaten in a lifetime, wolfing it down in just 2 bites. You get ready to head back and cook up those massive fish. Meanwhile, the old wolf keeps a safe distance, trailing behind you at a lazy pace. After thinking it over a few times, you decide not to chase it away. I've been talking to myself for 2 whole days now. The only thing missing is a cute girl. Back at the shelter, you get a fire going and start roasting the fish. The old wolf is pacing outside the door, too scared to come inside. Sigh, whatever, if you really want to be my dog, I'll give you a shot. The fish is seriously delicious. It has that perfect wild flavor. It's just missing a little seasoning. You'll go scavenge the ruined city for some tomorrow. A place that huge has got to have some salt somewhere. You scrape the leftovers into a battered old box and hand it over to the drooling old wolf. He took a few cautious licks. Is this really fit for a majestic wolf like me? Then he gobbled it all down in a flash. You reached out your hand as gently as you could, muttering under your breath, "Please don't bite me. If you bite me, I'm turning you into dog stew." Finally, you successfully pet that big, fluffy head. He was just a little stinky, though. The old wolf's single eye widened in surprise. Getting pet actually felt pretty awesome, so he started enjoying it more and more. He was acting more like a regular dog by the second. Why isn't there an achievement for taming animals? You thought, watching the old wolf roll around on the ground. Supernatural level, 0. Then, it finally clicked. Looks like you only get the milestone if you tame a supernatural creature. The old wolf smelled absolutely foul, so you dragged him kicking and screaming into the river for a bath. His health was improving at an incredible rate. Maybe that little red pill really did do the trick. An aging Pengu gray wolf has formed a close bond with you. With your careful feeding, he might just live for a few more years. Woof, woof, woof. Suddenly, he barked wildly a few times and bolted away like the wind. A massive, almost 10-meter-long crocodile was quietly creeping up. Talk about an ungrateful dog abandoning you. Well, at least he warned you in advance. That was a huge help already. 1 hour later, once the crocodile finally left, you stepped out of the alternate dimension. You found the old wolf looking extremely smug in the tall grass. Guided by the old wolf, you spent a whole week doing some basic scouting. You roughly figured out the territory layout within a 50-kilometer radius. The absolute strongest boss-level creature was definitely that giant man-eating flower. It sat right at the very top of the local food chain. Its stats panel just showed a bunch of question marks. Within a radius of several dozen kilometers, there were also 5 mini-bosses lurking around. The king snake, the heavenly scorpion, the donkey-headed monster, the fire salamander, and the poison bee queen. Yet here you were, getting bullied by the low-level grunts. Life at the bottom of the food chain really sucked, but hey, at least you didn't forget your main job this week. You still worked your butt off and scavenged a ton of junk. Here was the first major piece of loot. You found a massive patch of crops that looked like potatoes and pumpkins. The tubers and fruits were packed with carbs. They made for fantastic staple foods. There was also a plant that looked just like a breadfruit tree. The fruit inside was practically ready-made flour. Your long-term food supply was basically sorted out. You would stand on top of the towering ruins, daydreaming about where you'd be 100 years from now. Even with the old wolf keeping you company, the loneliness just kept growing. So, you started working out like an absolute maniac. You were just so damn lonely. Ever since you secured a steady food source, your mind started wandering even more. Only by training yourself into a superhero could you soothe your lonely soul. 1 week later, the superhero plan came to a screeching halt because your knees started hurting. Suddenly, you heard a whining howl. You were completely dumbfounded. The old wolf had actually brought back a female wolf. You squatted down to take a closer look. Wow, it really is a female. She's quite the beauty, too. Come here, let me give you some head pats. The great eye of the pioneer has successfully deciphered the meta-civilization's written language. You can now read their historical archives. Your heart skipped a beat. You jogged straight into the data center. You started reading through those acid-free paper files. This one here was a government work report. After the meta-civilization city of Goer reached the safe zone, many supplies are hard to replenish. Next paper. When can we finally dismantle the safe zone? Our Meta civilization has stayed in the safe zone for 50 years. 5,000 years have already passed on the outside. Next one, our Meta civilization. We've been staying in the safe zone for a full 70 years. The outside world has completely transformed. By the time I read up to year 300, the Meta civilization still hasn't advanced into the Pangea continent. 30,000 years have passed outside. As time slips away, things on Pangea are getting worse and worse. Terrifying disasters strike constantly. We even observed the fall of a sky city. To think that even the super civilizations on the outside would face their doom one day. The safe zone won't be affected by disasters, but what ending is waiting for us? You take a deep breath. Will the Interstellar Alliance really allow a civilization that just gives up to keep existing? Worrying right now is completely pointless. You've been on Pangea for almost 15 days. Converted to safe zone time, that's only 3.6 hours. Just focus on living your own life. I found another really useful article. The 3 attributes, form, chi, and spirit. What do they actually mean? According to Meta civilization statistics, the chance of awakening an innate superpower is 1 in 10, while the ratio of awakening observation skills is about 1 in 100,000. My pioneer's eye, 1 in 100,000. This ability really is incredible. No wonder it calls itself a magnificent power. This paper argues, form represents physique and physical strength. Chi is the ability to perceive the outside world, and spirit is the most complex one. The easiest way to explain it is the soul. No wonder the old wolf's danger perception is higher than mine. That actually makes a lot of sense. After eating its fill, the old wolf runs over to play around. Shoo, I'm busy with serious business here. You're reading with such enthusiasm. Who has the time to entertain an old wolf? The 6th branch of the Meta civilization. After 300 years of development in the safe zone, the strongest in the army is at Transcendent level 3. Their form, chi, and spirit attributes are around 18 points. You have no idea how strong Transcendent level 3 is, but you deeply understand. You must step onto the path of transcendence as soon as possible. Right now is the most precious pioneering phase. Whether it's unique milestones or transcendent lifeforms that haven't grown up yet, or even all kinds of rare natural treasures, they can all be easily obtained right now. Another week goes by. You are anxious and busy, turning into an absolute nerd, studying the research papers here like your life depends on it. I wasn't even this serious during my college entrance exams. What's different though, is every day brings a new girlfriend. One pretty-looking female wolf after another. After getting a free lunch, they also start hanging around and refuse to leave. Today, the old wolf brought back a pheasant. You quickly drain its blood and cook up a rustic beggar's chicken. Man, how long has it been since I had KFC? On this day, you finally found what you were looking for, the origin of transcendence. But only a very small number can cultivate it. Everyone else needs a transcendent spark to keep leveling up. We found out way too late. Your heart turns ice cold. Man, I don't have one either. Reading further down, later on, you discover that transcendent cores can also be found inside wild monsters. And these beasts are incredibly powerful. You freeze for a long moment. What a shame this hell spider was too young. It hadn't formed a transcendent core yet. If God gave me one more chance, I'd still have to kill it anyway. But right now, I have to hunt a monster that actually has a transcendent core, so I can use it to keep leveling up. That massive boss, the man-eating flower, is definitely out of the question. That thing is way too strong. After thinking it over and over, you set your sights on the fire salamander. This monster lives completely alone. No need to deal with a massive swarm of annoying minions. Dealing with those little runts is always a nightmare. But, with just a fragile mortal body, going up against a supernatural beast is going to be incredibly tough. Even if I found guns and ammo out here, after all these years, they would be completely useless by now. The absolute best way to do this is definitely a trap, and this trap needs to be big enough to fit at least a whole elephant. I will sharpen the steel rebars I pulled from the ruins, and then pull out my prized possession, the spider venom gland. This belongs to the high-tier ruin guardian, the hell spider. I really hope this can poison it to death. 2 whole months of preparation quietly slip away. It has been exactly 100 days since I got here. I think I am slowly getting used to surviving in this place. I wonder what kind of day all of you are having. May the great interstellar alliance watch over me, because if I lose today, I am gonna end up as a pile of lizard poop, carrying a heavy backpack loaded with weapons, and dragging a 50-pound fish I caught. I set off into the distance. After walking like this for over 2 hours, I finally reach the canyon where the fire salamander lives. The old wolf and the females are too terrified to move forward, their fur standing on end. That is the absolute crushing pressure of an apex predator. You dump the fish upwind, it will definitely smell the fish. I know the spider venom will not be enough to kill you so easily. So let us have a fight to the death. But wait, that fire salamander seems to be fast asleep. I wait for over an hour before it finally crawls out of its dark cave. I cannot believe I actually have to fight a monster like this. The fire salamander is a brainless beast, after all. It lunges forward and swallows the fish in a single bite, waddling right back into its cave. As you wait, another terrifying thought crosses your mind. Is it already dead? Because once a creature with a transcendent core dies, the core will just fade away over time. Suddenly, an earth-shattering roar. That massive, 10-ton behemoth is thrashing wildly inside its cave. Your heart immediately starts pounding. The trailblazer's eye flashes a warning. A powerful, reptilian supernatural life form. It appears to be afflicted by a highly potent toxin. But the venom is not enough to kill it. Are you really going to fight this thing? I might literally be wiped off the face of the earth tomorrow. But I have to fight it. My drive to survive has been fading day by day. I need to take back the courage that makes us human. And then, you scream at the top of your lungs into the cave. Come out here and get your daddy. The fire salamander was already in agonizing pain from the venom, and that taunt completely sets it off. It locks all of its rage onto you, charging forward and covering over 30 feet with every single step. Radiating pure, violent bloodlust, every single hair on your body instantly stands up on end. Turns out, I really am afraid of dying. Ha ha ha. I break into the fastest sprint of my life, but man, my speed is absolutely no match for that fire salamander. I purposefully weave and juke around the boulders, trying to lose it. But the massive beast behind me just smashes right through the rocks, like they're made of foam. The old wolf howls in the distance, seeing me getting chased down. He's absolutely frantic. This endless, all-out sprinting is seriously draining my energy. Is this it? Is this how it ends? I'm still so far from the trap. I'm about to get squashed like a bug. Suddenly, I hear a fierce howl. He finally gathers his courage and charges right at it. The she-wolves are hiding in the back, roaring their lungs out. Now that is a blatant provocation. But the old wolf is smart. He knows exactly where the trap is. Dragging those old bones, he's trying to buy me time for the final stretch. Don't you dare die on me, buddy. I need to hide, right now. Taking advantage of his distraction, I instantly activate my pocket dimension. Fire salamander realizes its prey just vanished, so all that pure rage shifts right onto the old wolf. And man, the old wolf is terrified. He's running for his life, practically pissing himself. Scared the absolute crap out of him. Thankfully, it's not much further now. He's right at the edge of the trap. But the fire salamander comes barreling in. Like a runaway dump truck, I hear a brutal, agonizing howl. The old wolf is sent flying over 10 meters into the air. As for the salamander, boom. The massive boulders rigged above the trap come crashing down into the pit. Smashing it so hard, golden blood splatters everywhere. Alright, it's all or nothing. I drop the pocket dimension, grab my rebar spear, and charge straight at it. The explorer's eye flashes a warning. A wounded and poisoned supernatural lizard creature. But its life force is still off the charts. The wounds are already starting to heal. In that split second, I grip the rebar spear as hard as I can. I haven't even lived 30 years. Life feels like a fleeting dream, a total illusion. But all who are born must eventually die. I'm taking your spark. I leap right onto the fire salamander's massive back, and thrust the spear straight into its eye. The beast goes absolutely berserk, thrashing wildly. A massive fireball, like a fuel air bomb, erupts into the sky. It's the salamander's ultimate move, fire breath. The scorching heat instantly melts the rocks into pure magma. This is its trump card. It burns a massive amount of energy, so it won't last long. Thank God it missed me. That was way too close. Because I instantly slipped back into my pocket dimension, I didn't take any damage. Scalded by its own burning fuel, its left eye is completely ruined. Plus, my spear was coated in poison, and the eye is a direct path to the brain. The venom is spreading fast. The furious fire salamander has completely burned through its fuel reserves. Now its massive body is rolling right toward me. A death roll. It's trying to use its sheer body weight to crush me alive. The beast's body overlaps with the very fabric of my space. But my dimension ability has its limits. Activating it this many times in a row is severely draining my mental energy. I've played peekaboo long enough. Dimension dropped. Let's end this. Launching a sneak attack, it finally stopped. It's exhausted. The fire lizard's long, intense movements, and the spider toxin invading its nervous system, have drained the life from this giant beast. And from constantly using your dimensional space, you've reached your absolute limit too. Your vision starts to blur. Your whole body is burning with pain. You don't even know where you're hurt anymore. You see the old wolf in the distance, his two front legs clawing at the ground, slowly crawling his way out from the bushes. If you're not dead yet, I can't die either, right? When we get back, I'm definitely treating you to a massive feast. You pull out the last few pieces of dried spider meat from your pocket and start chewing on them dry. Right up until dawn, that giant beast lay slumped on the ground, completely motionless. You burst out laughing. Even though you have absolutely no strength left, you still raise both hands to welcome the sunlight. In your ears rings that long-lost, icy robotic voice. Congratulations on unlocking the unique milestone, Cross-Tier Hunter. You are the very first in the 9th era to cross 5 supernatural tiers. To single-handedly hunt down a supernatural creature. Reward: eternal body. You're so utterly exhausted right now that you can't even hear the reward description clearly. You just stumble toward the supernatural spark drifting from the fire lizard. By the time you wake up from passing out, a few female wolves are licking you. They didn't eat their master. You guys have been guarding me this whole time. Thank you. The old wolf comes limping over, and you shoot him a glance. An old Pangu gray wolf with 2 broken ribs. Taking such a brutal hit, you couldn't possibly just leave him alone, could you? Still, this guy's in pretty great spirits. I owe you my life, old brother. And as for those wives of his, they're just staring blankly at the fire lizard's corpse, and then turning their heads back to look at you. Their eyes are absolutely filled with awe. A huge smile spreads across your face. You can already feel that supernatural spark dancing in your mind, along with the milestone reward, the eternal body. The supernatural spark needs no explanation. It's basically an ability that lets you cultivate. Your core stats can now shatter human limits. As for the eternal body, it's even more insanely powerful. It massively boosts your lifespan and grants minor limb regeneration. You won't even age until the very end of your lifespan. And just as you're resting, your explorer's eye catches a glimpse of deep, glowing gold inside the cave. This fire lizard's lair, could it actually be hiding some crazy treasure? Meanwhile, over in the Pangu continent's safe zone, 17 human cities have only gone through a single day, but that's been more than enough to plunge society into total chaos. The internet is down, the power is out, and even the water supply has been completely cut off. Some people are choosing to lock themselves inside, while others have started raiding and looting the supermarkets. In the face of an apocalypse, everyone makes a totally different choice. There are even young couples passionately confessing their love, and suddenly, massive lines are forming outside the marriage registration offices. The Yunhai city government is doing everything it can to protect the basic rights of the people. They are brutally cracking down on all crimes. Megaphones are blasting warnings into every single corner of the city. This is a desperate war between the brilliant light and the darkest depths of human nature. Entire branches of civilization have suddenly just collapsed, descending into a doomsday frenzy. Nestled in a corner of the Pangaea continent, right next to a massive lake, updates are flooding into the conference room. The power grid is still recovering. The power plant's coal reserves are running low. They'll probably run out in about 10 days. With the factories shut down, we won't be using much power anyway. The granaries and major logistics centers have been successfully secured. We have enough rations to feed 10 million people for about 1 year. Basic network communications have been restored. This emergency gathering is dubbed the Yunhai City Survival Conference. Mayor Li Chunong, the top official of Yunhai City, is absolutely overwhelmed. But He still made time to visit the Supernatural Research Institute. Mr. Lee, here's the meteorite that fell from the sky. It's been here at our research center for exactly 10 years. Ever since those meteorites crashed down 10 years ago, countless metahumans have awakened. And governments around the world all secretly agreed to cover up the truth. Director Zhang Wei, the man in charge, gave his report. This spherical meteorite is about 2 meters in diameter. It weighs roughly 2 tons and has 20 screens embedded on its surface, along with what looks like control buttons. These meteorites that fell from the heavens numbered over 300 in total, scattered all across the globe. But only 17 cities were actually transported here. Zhang Wei pressed a few buttons on the massive iron sphere. To his surprise, a video call interface popped up. Human Civilization Branch Number 1. Requesting connection to Human Civilization Branch Number 6. Beep. Connection established. Were you guys teleported here too? The screen displayed the famous supernatural expert from Country A. Professor Edward, what's the situation on your end? Has panic broken out? Edward just gave a helpless shrug. It's pure chaos over here. Thank God we've got the military protecting us. Otherwise looters would have already ransacked my house. Standing off to the side, Mayor Lee Chunong could barely hold back a sudden wave of relief. The absolute best news he'd heard all day was that their fellow humans were in an even worse mess than they were. My friends, stay safe out there. The distance between our cities is over 10,000 kilometers. We can't physically help each other, so we can only share information. Professor Edward continued, along the edges of all city safe zones, and reaching 50,000 meters into the sky. You can see a thin curtain of light shielding us. Professor Zhang Wei chimed in. Let me add to that. In reality, a lot of matter can pass through the safe zone in a molecular state, like water, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. Furthermore, the flow of time out in Pangaea is 100 times faster than inside the safe zone. Only a public referendum to deactivate the safe zone will make the light curtain vanish. Mayor Lee Chunong completely understood the implications. What exactly are the threats out on Pangaea? Could you guys share what you know? One by one, other civilization branches joined the discussion, with time moving 100 times faster. Looking out from the safe zone feels exactly like watching a movie on fast forward. We've observed plenty of normal plants and animals out on the Pangaea continent, but we've also spotted a few extraordinary species. We captured footage of a massive black cloud blocking out the sky, staring down at our safe zone like a gigantic dark skull. I just have to ask, did any of your cities bring nukes with them? Dead silence. Nobody answered. Did we bring any? Lee Chunong whispered, and an officer replied, no, we only have some conventional weapons. If we manage to mine uranium from Pangaea, could we build it? Not with Yunhai City's current industrial capacity. If a city really gets its safe zone revoked because of a public vote, please share that information with us. We want to know too. Will the roaming monsters actually attack? Inside the research institute, one of the screens on the spherical meteorite suddenly lit up. A massive amount of data appeared on it. The civilization support management device is rebooting. Currently in the 9th epoch of Pangaea, scanning for available civilization milestones. 1. End the chaos and become a stable civilization. 3. Revoke the safe zone and step into Pangaea, affected by unknown factors. Database corrupted, scan failed. Everyone in the room looked completely dumbfounded. What are civilization milestones? Wait, are the first 8 epochs already wiped out? Unfortunately, I have no idea either. But on this panel, there are some other support features we can look at. Now scanning the first branch of human civilization, Yunhai City. Total population, 10,891,271. Innate awakeners, 846,300. Extraordinary seeds, 3 individuals. Prosperity level, 132. Technology level, unknown. Votes in favor of revoking the safe zone, 9.78%. Civilization level, level 1. The leaders in the room felt a chill run down their spines. 9.78% of the trolls in Yunhai City have already cast their votes in secret. We'll take our leave now. But just as everyone was about to adjourn, discovered 8th epoch civilization. The meta-civilization is requesting contact with human civilization. An 8th epoch civilization? Professor Zhang's face was filled with utter shock and confusion. Alien. An alien civilization is contacting us. And then, something even more bizarre happened. A human man's face appeared on the screen. The guy was muttering to himself. What the heck is this thing? A civilization support manager? Can it connect to humans? Hey, connect me to humans. Connect me right now, hurry. The guy seemed to be in a dark, dingy bomb shelter. Why isn't the screen turning on? It reeks in here. Taking a dump right inside the house. What kind of disgusting hygiene is that? Professor Zhang Hui's eyes nearly popped out of his head. A citizen of the meta-civilization actually speaks our language? Li Chunong felt his blood pressure spiking. Professor Zhang, is this some kind of prank? Did someone hack into this thing? Professor Zhang Wei was sweating buckets. Let me double check, but this is an alien artifact. Could someone seriously hack into this? The guy on the screen was still rambling to himself. Screen's not turning on, huh? I thought this was some epic loot. Turns out it's just a piece of junk. Wait, does it tell time? I guess that's somewhat useful. At least I won't have to keep track of the days anymore. A moment later, the man dug up a fiery red crystal from the dirt. That fire salamander was super tough. I knew there had to be treasure. Haha, I totally hit the jackpot this time. With this baby, I can train my extraordinary seed way faster. Li Chunong popped a blood pressure pill. Keep this quiet, absolute top secret. Professor Zhang, can you try talking to him? I'm trying. Hello, Mr. Meta Civilization? Can you hear me? Zhang Wei called out for a long time. Then a thought hit him. Could the screen on the other end be broken? He's just been talking to himself this whole time. Meanwhile, the man on the screen pushed the giant iron ball, muttering to himself. Looks like it really only has a transmit function. No receive function at all. Oh well, it's solar powered anyway. I'll try again when it's fully charged. With a click, the screen went black. No, wait, don't turn it off. We still need to watch. Zhang Wei yelled out, caught up in the panic, leaving everyone in the room staring at each other in stunned silence. Meanwhile, somewhere in a cave on the Pangu continent, you stand at the cave entrance, frowning. This place doesn't look natural. You raise your hand, scanning the area with your pioneer's eye. Suspected Meta Civilization Air Defense Facility, later occupied by supernatural creatures. You freeze for a second, and then your eyes light up. Well, what are we waiting for? Time to loot. Dragging your exhausted body, you rush inside. A massive, scrapped metal door lies flat on the ground. You grab it, trying to lift it up. But it doesn't budge an inch. Wow, this thing is insanely tough, and heavy. You pat the metal panel. I'm putting this on my tab. Your king will come back for it when he actually has time. Over 100 bundles of foul-smelling fabric are piled up in the corner. You pinch your nose. Yeah, it stinks, but a good wash and it can be made into clothes. A mosquito net wouldn't be a bad idea either. Suddenly, you stop dead in your tracks. The floor is absolutely covered in metal. Piles of random ores everywhere, but more importantly, gold bricks. Stacked up piece by piece like a miniature mountain. You bend down and pick one up. Roughly 10 kilograms, staring at the floor completely paved with gold. Your mouth twitches. There has to be tens of tons here. Based on Earth's economy, this is worth tens of billions. You stay silent for 2 seconds, then let out a cynical laugh. If only this had even the slightest bit of use here, but it is utterly useless. You can't use it to buy medicine here. You can't buy food, and you definitely can't buy your life back. But man, the rush is still so damn good. You give the gold bricks a little kick. Whatever, I'll just leave it here for now. Once your king builds a civilization, you guys are going straight into the national treasury. Your pioneer's eye continues to scan. Fluorite can extract fluorine. You raise an eyebrow. Can I make toothpaste out of this? Apatite releases energy and glows when heated. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Whoever wants this junk can have it. You continue venturing deeper into the cave. Soon enough, a massive iron ball appears in front of you. Its surface is embedded with rings of crystal screens. This thing definitely doesn't look ordinary. You reach out and place your hand on it. The pioneer's eye pops up an alert. Suspected Advanced Civilization Auxiliary Management Device. Capable of detecting civilization's human resource data. Also equipped with long-distance communication capabilities. Due to long-term tampering by fire salamanders, some functions are damaged. Your eyes shoot wide open. Long-distance communication? I can contact humanity. You instantly dive toward it and start frantically pressing buttons. The indicator light flashes twice. A sharp buzzing static comes through the speaker. Barely holding back your excitement, you scream into the giant iron ball. Hey, human civilization. This is Chen Fan, hurry up and connect me to humanity. You pause for a second, then rapidly type in a code. 7812, HSKKJ. Yeah, this should be it. 1 second, 10 seconds, 1 minute. After all that time, the screen stays completely dark. The excitement on your face fades away bit by bit, and you plop right down on the ground. Sure enough, no expectations means no disappointment. A moment later, you stand back up. Just because we can't connect now, doesn't mean we won't be able to later. This iron ball belongs to me, your king, for now. The very next moment, you follow the golden light from the explorer's eye, walking to the deepest part of the cave. The golden light is the thickest here. You swing your pickaxe, and dig right into the ground. 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes. A fiery red crystal rolls out. It's the size of a palm, looking like a chunk of solidified fire. You reach out and grab it, and a notification instantly pops up. Fiery spirit crystal. Can absorb, purify, and slowly release spirit energy. Can be used to nurture an extraordinary spark and speed up your cultivation. You stare at the crystal, the corners of your mouth curling up. With the golden light shining this bright, it had to be some great loot. You hold the crystal up to your eyes. I, your king, just ignited my extraordinary spark. And here you are, sending me cultivation resources. Pengu continent, you actually know how to please me. You tuck the fiery spirit crystal away safely, and scan the area one more time. Seeing that the treasure is all dug out, you turn around and head toward the cave exit. In the distance, the remains of the fire salamander are sprawled across the ground. Still giving off a bit of residual heat, the pioneer's eye pops up a message. Extraordinary life form. Fire salamander is dead, due to the effects of the neurotoxin. The corpse is rotting. It is estimated that in 1 day, most of its flesh and blood will lose their value. Your face darkens. Time is running out. I have to deal with this right now. You grab your tool and rush over. Scales, armor, skin, and meat, I'm taking it all. The old wolf is lying nearby. Even with broken ribs, he's forcing himself to stay awake and watch you. You glance over at him. Stop watching, old buddy. You're a hero, you won't die on my watch. The old wolf lets out a low whine. You go back to harvesting materials. You dig out a bunch of stuff that looks like kidney stones. Fuel crystals, aged condensates from the fire salamander's fuel. The ignition temperature can reach 3000 degrees Celsius. Piece the size of a peanut can burn for a whole day. Your eyes light up. Lighting fires, smelting metals, forging weapons, it works for everything. You pack all 300 or so fuel crystals into a plastic bucket. You also find 2 back tendons and 4 leg tendons. I'll take these back to make bows and ballistas. Let's see who dares to charge my camp after this. You slice open its back. It hasn't been tainted by the poison. A massive chunk of tenderloin is revealed. You gulp down some saliva. Now this is a real feast. You carve off a large chunk and toss it to the old wolf first. The first piece goes to you. We won this time because of you. The old wolf's eyes instantly well up with tears. He opens his mouth, catches the meat, and scarfs it down. You point at him and laugh. I am the number 1 hero. And you're the number 2 hero. You get 1%. Rules are rules. The old wolf doesn't understand a word, but he wags his tail anyway. The female wolves gather around too, staring at you eagerly. You slice off a bit more meat. There's plenty for everyone. Not a single one of you will be left out. The mother wolves ate until their bellies were completely stuffed. You even sliced off 2 pieces of raw meat and swallowed them whole. The taste was just okay. Honestly, it was a little bit gamey. Suddenly, a wave of heat exploded from your stomach. Your whole body violently jolted. This is way better than that spider meat. You clench your fists. So this is the meat of a supernatural beast. It's definitely top-tier stuff. Alright, time to get back to work. You didn't stop for the entire day. The axe got completely blunted. Your palms were torn to shreds, and your shoulders ached like they were about to snap off. But you didn't dare to stop, because the carcass would rot. And because other beasts would come scavenging. This was a trophy you risked your life for. It wasn't until evening that your storage space was finally packed to the brim. Only then did you head home, completely satisfied. Even though you were dead tired, you couldn't wipe the smirk off your face. We actually won. We survived. The mother wolves tilted their heads back and let out a triumphant howl. You joined in and roared at the top of your lungs. Your voices echoed wildly through the mountains. Finally back at camp, the heavy metal doors swung open. The old wolf was slumped in a pile of hay in the corner, but his tail was wagging non-stop. You breathed a heavy sigh of relief. Well, if he's still wagging his tail, he's not gonna die. But the very next second, you collapsed face first onto the ground. You just lay there, completely motionless. The adrenaline was completely gone. Every last drop of your stamina was drained. A few minutes later, you gritted your teeth and forced yourself up. No, I can't. I'm covered in the fire lizard's golden slime. I can't go to sleep like this. You dragged your heavy body outside to wash off. You shivered from the cold. By the time you finished washing and came back inside, your forehead was burning up. Your face dropped. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Getting sick? Now of all times? You tossed a few chunks of lizard meat to the mother wolves and pointed at the door, saying, "If you hear anything out there, bark." The wolves just wagged their tails. Thank God I have you guys. Even if you can't talk and aren't exactly geniuses, you're really reliable when it counts. You locked the metal door, swallowed a little red pill, and crashed onto your bed of hay. Just need to sleep this off. You closed your eyes and instantly blacked out. You slept like the absolute dead. It felt like you slept from the dawn of creation straight through to the end of the world. By the time you woke up, the sun was already high in the sky. Your very first thought was to check on the old wolf. He was still alive, and his breathing was steady. You let out a massive sigh of relief. Then, you felt your own forehead. Your throat was killing you, and your entire body was incredibly sore. You immediately cast an appraisal on yourself. Status: early stage flu. You froze for a second, then patted your chest to calm down. Thank God, it's just the flu. But a split second later, you shot straight up. Wait, there are no hospitals out here. Your face went totally pale. Out in this godforsaken wasteland. If I don't treat this right, it could actually kill me. Suddenly, your status panel popped up. Supernatural level. Level 1. Traits: Pocket Dimension, Eye of the Pioneer, Eye of the Explorer. Storage space, Supernatural Ember, and Eternal Body. This boring human has 6 abilities, but no matter what, he's still just a rookie. You let out a cold smirk. Still talking tough, huh? I've got a ton of abilities, so just admit you're impressed. But now isn't the time for bickering. You dig out the little red pill and swallow another one. It boosts immunity, so it should at least help a little. You close your eyes. Deep in your mind, a tiny red flame flickers to life. You immediately channel it, guiding the power of the spark straight down your respiratory tract, burning away the virus, nourishing your cells, and saving your own life. Time slowly ticks by. You snap your eyes open. The headache has mostly faded away. You sit up in bed and crack a smile. Less than half a day, and the flu is already beaten back. You clench your fists. No wonder only civilizations that have ignited the transcendent spark dared to explore the Pangu continent. Without this thing, a single illness would completely wipe you out. You lock your eyes on your new ability, looking at your palm, and then checking your arm. I can't activate it manually? Fine. Then you'd better actually be useful. The Pioneer's Eye provides the answer. A massive boost to your lifespan. You gain limb regeneration, and your physical stats will permanently stay at their absolute peak. You won't age until you reach your ultimate lifespan limit. You just freeze in shock. No aging? Always at 100%? What's the worst part about being human? We level up slowly, but lose it fast. Skip training for 1 day, and you get rusty. Skip 2 days, and your stats start dropping. But you're different now. As long as you level it up, you keep it forever. You clench your fists, your eyes shining with a scary intensity. Which means, as long as I grind hard enough, I'll eventually become Superman. You stand up and roll your shoulders. Your body still feels a little weak, but you can feel it. It's slowly climbing right back to its peak. You touch your face. Does that mean my good looks are locked in, too? I'm 24 right now. I'd say I'm still pretty handsome, right? You check your reflection in a piece of scrap metal. Even if I live to be 1,000 years old, my face won't end up looking like wrinkled tree bark. A smirk crosses your face. Now that's a solid ability. But then, a cruel reality hits you. This is the Pangu continent. It's just me here. There are no girls. There are no cities. I don't even have a single normal person to talk to. You look down at the old wolf by your bed. The old wolf looks right back up at you. You stare in silence. The old wolf stares back in silence. You let out a heavy sigh. Forget it. There's no point complaining to you. You don't understand the struggles of a grown man. You mutter a few curses under your breath, venting all your frustration into the empty air. A moment later, you pull your focus back. The brain is part of the body, too. Does that mean I'll forget things at a slower rate when I learn new knowledge? You narrow your eyes. If that's true, then this ability isn't just for survival. It's going to let me keep getting stronger, infinitely. You pat your chest. Not bad, Interstellar Alliance. You did good this time. But then again, why do you only ever give me support skills? You haven't given me a single attack ability. You point a finger at the ceiling, sounding incredibly frustrated. I had to snatch the transcendent spark all by myself. You had nothing to do with it. The old wolf just looks at you again. You wave your hand. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to reason with the big boss up there. Even though they probably won't listen. For the next few days, you do nothing but eat, drink, use the bathroom, and lay around. Because winning that battle against the fire salamander felt absolutely amazing. But the price was heavy too. Your stamina was completely drained. Your vitality was hollowed out, and your body feels like it was wrung dry. You eat 2 bites of fire salamander meat, then use the supernatural spark to nourish your body. And then you go right back to sleep. The she-wolves stand guard outside, while the old wolf lays inside recovering from his injuries. You go check on him every single day, putting meat right up to his mouth. Pull through this, and you'll still be my #1 top-tier general. The old wolf eats the meat, and you look at him, nodding. Not bad, that's the fighting spirit. You haven't been completely idle these past few days either. You've been flipping through the data left behind by the Meta civilization. Focusing specifically on cultivation. Digesting all that lore is pointless right now. You only care about the key stuff. How to survive. This goes on until the 7th day. When you finally can't just lay there anymore. You throw off the straw mat and sit straight up. Today marks the start of my official training. Listen up everyone, your king is about to evolve. You sit cross-legged and focus your mind. The little flame flickers gently, almost as if it's responding to you. The Meta civilization's data was crystal clear. The supernatural spark only has one core function, enhancing your 3 main attributes. Once the spark grows stronger, it can unleash psychic energy and evolve into all sorts of attack techniques. The Meta civilization called it their absolute #1 ability, not because it was the most powerful, but because it could be passed down, allowing the entire civilization to grow stronger together. As you read up to this point, you think, I'm literally the only one left in the 18th branch of humanity. Whether this can be shared or not, doesn't really matter to me. I just need to make myself strong first. Right now, you're in a pretty good mood, even though you were tossed onto the Pangu continent completely alone at the start. You weren't totally screwed over, landing right next to the ruins of a civilization, with loot just waiting to be scavenged. Fire salamanders to hunt, and even milestone rewards on top of that. With that said, you pull out that fiery red spirit crystal. The moment it appears, the spark in your mind immediately flashes. Your eyes narrow in focus. The energy inside the crystal acts like an invisible current, drilling into your body and rushing straight into your mind. You almost burst out laughing. Isn't this exactly the energy crystal left behind by the Meta civilization? The way rich people cultivate really is just beautifully simple. Without the fiery red spirit crystal, normal cultivation would just be a painfully slow grind. The Meta civilization even developed a bunch of techniques, like the interstellar energy resonance method and the interstellar energy channeling method. They all sound super professional, but right now, I don't need to do any of that slow math at all. The fiery red spirit crystal just slaps the answer right in your face. Brute forcing it with raw resources is just overpowered. Suddenly, you feel full. Not full in your stomach, but your spark is full. You immediately stop. You can't get greedy with training, you need time to digest the energy. You open your eyes and check your stats. Your eyes immediately light up. Every single stat just went up by 0.1, and the fiery red spirit crystal still has plenty of energy left. It's nowhere near empty. The corners of your mouth curl up into a huge grin. It's not just empty talk. Your stat panel is actually going up. You stand up and stretch your arms out. The change isn't super obvious, but you can definitely feel it. Your body feels steadier, your breathing is smoother, and your mind is so much clearer. You look over at the old wolf. Your king just got stronger again. The old wolf wags his tail. Good boy, you think I'm awesome too, don't you? You squat down and use a stick to scratch the date into the dirt. The ground is covered in tally marks. What day is it today again? Day 105. Or was it 106? The days are starting to blur together. This is no small matter. When you're surviving alone in the wild, the scariest thing isn't the hardship. It's getting swallowed up by time. Today, tomorrow, the day after. They all feel exactly the same. Over time, you just lose yourself completely. I need to keep track of the exact time. I can't end up forgetting my own age. Thinking of this, you instantly remember that giant iron sphere. The civilization management device. Even though it's partially busted, the timer should still work. No time like the present. First, let's clear up some storage space. You turn to the old wolf and give the order. Watch the house. Don't run off. I'm going to get that giant iron sphere back. If you dare to wander off, I'm docking your meat rations. The old wolf immediately drops to his belly. Good boy, you strap your axe to your back, grab your tools, and head out. Once again, you arrive at Salamander Canyon. The giant monster corpse that was laying right here is now just a skeleton swarming with flies. You stand there and take a good look at it. Once you're dead, you're just meat. No respect at all. You head straight into the cave. You spot the giant iron sphere. You toss it right into your storage space. Quick and easy. On the way back, you decide to scavenge for some medical supplies. Too bad your luck is just average. You don't see a single trace of any medical gear. Meta-civilization, oh, meta-civilization. You're supposed to be some advanced, high-tech society. How could you not leave me a single pill? But even without meds, you can't go back empty-handed. You spot a plant that looks like a chili pepper. Your pioneer's eye scans over it. Shaggy inked cap, a highly likely non-toxic mushroom that tastes just like chicken. You nod in approval. Drumstick mushrooms will do just fine. Red sage root can be used for medicine, great for boosting blood flow and clearing bruises. You immediately start digging up the roots. This will be perfect for the old wolf. And that suspected chili plant? Completely non-toxic, with a heat level of around 4,000 Scoville. Your eyes light up. Now that's some good stuff. Spicy stir-fried lizard meat. Finally got some real seasoning. You pack everything away neatly and look up toward the camp. I'll test out the metal sphere when I get back. Connecting with the rest of humanity all rides on this one shot. Meanwhile, back at the safe zone. First branch of human civilization, at the Yunhai City Supernatural Research Center. What was supposed to be a 1-hour briefing has been forced into overtime. Finally, a researcher breaks the silence. The first possibility, he really is human. For whatever reason, he left the safe zone completely on his own. He found the meta-civilization's management device. And that's why he's trying to contact us. Another researcher immediately chimes in, and because the device is busted. So he has absolutely no idea he's already made contact with us. The conference room fell silent once again. Does that explanation even make sense? The problem is, it's way too absurd. Leaving the safe zone all by himself. Just to survive out there on the Pengu continent? The time ratio between the outside world and the safe zone is 100 to 1. 1 day in the safe zone equals 100 days on the outside. Even a top-tier special forces soldier wouldn't exactly have an easy time out there. Let alone on the Pengu continent. There are supernatural creatures out there. There are unknown viruses, ruins, and terrifying monsters. Someone murmured softly, what about the second possibility? Maybe the civilizations outside all look like humans, and their languages are similar to those on Earth. We just happen to bump into an outside civilization that speaks Chinese. The odds are extremely low, but we can't rule it out. Li Chunong, the top leader of Yunhai City, rubbed his temples. He had already seen way too many absurd things today. Supernatural technology. A civilization management device. Suspected humans in the outside world. Each thing is more ridiculous than the last. He tapped the table. Keep all possibilities for contact open. Any valid information could increase humanity's survival rate. Everyone nodded. Representatives from other cities also began to speak up. We'll share any new intelligence we get. The meeting soon ended. On the surface, everyone was still being polite. But beneath the surface, the atmosphere had changed. Information is a resource, and resources can't stay free forever. After the communication was cut off, Professor Zhang Wei quickly walked into the small conference room, looking grave. Leaders, the facial recognition results are out. Li Chunong looked up and spoke as Professor Zhang Wei placed the documents on the table. We can confirm it. The young man in the footage is a resident of Yunhai City. The expressions of the few people in the room changed all at once. He's really from Yunhai City? Professor Zhang Wei shook his head. We don't know the rest right now, but the recognition match is extremely high. A senior leader, over 60 years old, frowned. Should we disclose this to the other civilization branches? Another person immediately shot back. Wouldn't making this public draw too much attention? A resident of Yunhai City, appearing in the outside world, and possibly controlling the Meta civilization's communication device? If we leak this news, what will the other cities think? Li Chunong lowered his voice. Even if we don't make it public, they'll guess. After all, he's speaking our language. The senior leader looked at him. Are you saying we should take the initiative to disclose it? Li Chunong nodded. This is a card to play. And a major one at that. Right now, the 17 cities are cooperating on the surface, but information won't be given away for free forever. If you have tech and I don't, you're not going to just hand it over. In the future, this will definitely turn into a trade. He is our bargaining chip for direct contact with the outside world. As long as he's alive, Yunhai City holds an aura of mystery. When making deals, the others will second-guess themselves. And if they second-guess, they'll make concessions. The senior leader fell silent for a moment, letting out a low sigh. Li Chunong said, but we don't have a choice. The phrase, fellow human beings, isn't enough to make the 17 cities hold nothing back. We can trust the others, but we can't put our lives entirely in their hands. Li Chunong suddenly asked, what about Chen Fan's family? The liaison immediately replied, his father, Lu Changhua, is a psychiatrist at Yunhai City's 3rd hospital. His mother is also a doctor at the 3rd hospital. His younger sister, Chen Xiaoyu, is a high school senior at Yunhai Experimental High School. His grandparents, they probably stayed behind on Earth and didn't get teleported over. Li Chunong nodded and picked up his phone. I'll give him a call. A middle-aged man's voice came through the line. Hello? 3rd Hospital Psychiatry Department. How can I help you? Li Chunong softened his tone. This is the Yunhai City Government Office. Am I speaking to Dr. Lu Changhua? Is Chen Fan your son? The man's breathing caught on the other end. Yes, he didn't come home last night. Did you find him? Or, did he get left behind on Earth? Li Chunong avoided answering directly. We're going to send you a photo. Please confirm if the person in it is Chen Fan. A few seconds later, the message was sent. The other end of the line went dead silent for a long time. Then, his breathing turned ragged. He looks so thin. Is he hurt? Li Chunong said in a low, serious voice. Dr. Lu, please stay calm. We have one more question for you. Has Chen Fan awakened any superpowers? Superpowers? Lu Changhua was clearly stunned. I don't know. He never mentioned anything to me. The people in the conference room exchanged glances. Makes sense that he wouldn't know. With superpowers, if the kid doesn't say anything or use them openly, it's almost impossible for anyone else to notice. After that, they made a call to Chen Fan's mother. Finally, they called Chen Fan's younger sister. Chen Xiaoyu's voice sounded very young and extremely nervous. Hello, we are staff from the Yunhai City government. Is this Chen Xiaoyu? Yes, that's me. We just wanted to ask you something. Did your brother, Chen Fan, ever mention anything about superpowers to you? The line went quiet for a couple of seconds. Then, the girl whispered softly. Li Chunhong's eyes narrowed sharply. What kind of ability? He said, I think he called it an alternate dimension. He just awakened it a few days ago. He hasn't had the chance to report it yet. The girl's voice began to tremble. Sir, where is my brother? Did something bad happen to him? Li Chunong gripped the phone, falling silent for a moment. Your brother wasn't left behind on Earth, and he's not in the safe zone either. We suspect he somehow ended up in the ruins of the Meta civilization. Who in their right mind would ever believe that? In the end, Li Chunong simply said, Xiaoyu, I need you to calm down. We'll send a specialist to contact your family right away. As for Chen Fan's situation, we will explain everything to you in person. The moment he hung up, the conference room exploded. The younger experts absolutely couldn't contain their excitement. This ability is insanely rare. If we go by what his sister said, Chen Fan can create a completely independent pocket dimension and hide himself inside it. No one on the outside can see him or even touch him. Isn't that just straight-up spatial manipulation? Someone immediately chimed in. According to Earth's public records, there are only 2 known spatial ability users. One of them can do short-distance teleportation. But Chen Fan's alternate dimension sounds way more advanced than both of theirs. Meanwhile, Li Chunong stared at the files, his brow furrowing deeper and deeper. So how the hell did he get out there? One of the researchers slapped his forehead. I have a theory. At the exact moment it happened, Chen Fan might have been actively using his alternate dimension. When the civilization screening plan activated and Earth vanished, Chen Fan wasn't sitting in normal space. So he slipped right through the cracks. The entire conference room instantly fell dead silent. Professor Zhang Hui's eyes lit up. He immediately grabbed a pen and started drawing circles on the table. Look, Earth is one massive space, right? And Chen Fan's alternate dimension is a completely separate, smaller space. The safe zone's filtering mechanism only locked onto life forms within normal space. But since he was hiding away in his pocket dimension, he completely bypassed the system. Li Chunhong's face twitched. Would the Interstellar Alliance really make a mistake like this? Zhang Wei shook his head. This might not be a mistake. It's not that they didn't spot Chen Fan, but rather, he just wasn't in their scanning range. The room fell silent for 2 seconds. Then, someone muttered softly. Then he is just way too unlucky, right? He just awakened his superpowers and went in to mess around for a bit. And while he was messing around, the Earth just vanished. The tense atmosphere in the conference room instantly eased up. Li Chunong let out a chuckle too. Unlucky? I was hosting the opening ceremony for the cultural festival. I hadn't even put the mic down before the entire city flew up into the sky. A military major chimed in. My side was even scarier. My troops were in the middle of grenade training. Right as a grenade was thrown, the city lifted off. One of the new recruits went completely pale. He thought he had blown up the Earth. The laughter in the conference room grew even louder. Professor Zhang Wei let out a dry cough. Let's get back on track. Chen Fan's current situation is extremely dangerous. 10 million of us are hiding in the safe zone, too scared to even step outside, while he fell into the Penghu continent all by himself. And time on the outside moves 100 times faster than ours. We have to find a way to help him. Li Chunong tapped on the table. First, Chen Fan's identity can be made public. We need to make it clear to the other cities that he belongs to Yunhai City. We can't let anyone else claim him or let rumors spread wildly. Someone nodded in agreement. Going public is actually to our advantage. There is no point in hiding it. Li Chunong continued. Second, we need to focus on finding a way to contact him. His device seems to be broken. He can broadcast a video feed to us, but he can't receive any of our messages. We have to figure out a way to reach him. Someone immediately spoke up. Do we have any espers with remote communication abilities? Like telepathy? That usually only happens between twins. Chen Fan does have a younger sister. But they aren't twins, and she hasn't shown any abilities yet. What about the other cities? We don't know yet. Everyone started talking over each other. But no matter what they suggested, they kept hitting the same wall. Yunhai City couldn't even send out a single message. All they could do was stare at the screen in pure anxiety. A few of the older leaders were reaching their limits. They hadn't slept for a day and a night, and their eyes were completely bloodshot. Li Chunong stood up. Everyone, get some rest first. We will keep a close eye on Chen Fan's situation. But Yunhai City also needs to get back to production. 10 million people need food, they need water, and we have to maintain order. He looked over at Zhang Wei. Professor Zhang, I hate to ask, but please stay on duty. Please keep an eye on the international communications as well. Zhang Wei nodded. Don't worry, I have a lot of young people here, and they are all too fired up to sleep anyway. Li Chunong smiled. We still have to rely on you all for this new world. The leaders had just left the room. Zhang Wei let out a yawn too. He just wanted to lay his head on the desk and nap for a few minutes. But his brain was way too overstimulated to sleep. There were just too many supernatural phenomena going on. The burden was just too heavy. The number one priority right now was the food supply. Yunhai City spans 12,000 square kilometers, which doesn't sound small. But keeping 10 million people fed and taken care of is no joke. We don't have enough farmland, and our grain reserves are limited. If we can't find high-yield crops, people are going to starve to death down the line. Zhang Wei massaged his temples and turned to his subordinate. We only have 1 year of food reserves left. The other cities might not even have that much. Right as he finished speaking, the phone rang. Zhang Wei picked it up. What is it? The voice on the other end was trembling with urgency. The communicator screen lit up again. It's Chen Fan. Chen Fan is sending a communication request. Zhang Wei suddenly shot up from his seat. Hurry, get to the comms room. The abandoned data center of the Meta civilization. You are eating meat, fire lizard meat sliced thin and seared on a hot griddle. The fat sizzles as it cooks. Sprinkle some salt, add mushrooms, and toss in a few freshly picked green peppers. The aroma hits you right in the face. You pick up a slice of meat and pop it in your mouth. Crispy on the outside, tender on the inside. Your whole body relaxes. Hell yeah, now this is a real meal. The big iron sphere next to you has been soaking up the sun all day. You chew your food while pushing its buttons. Come on, old buddy, you've charged up enough juice by now. Stop playing dead, connect me to human civilization. You punch in the codes. Once, twice, 3 times. Honestly, you aren't sure it'll work. But you just can't stop trying. What if it actually connects? Just give me one chance. If I can just make contact, I could leverage all of human civilization. You pat the iron sphere. This is Chen Fan. I am still alive. Requesting contact. You stuff another bite of meat into your mouth. Oh, and by the way, fire lizard meat is delicious. The safe zone, Yunhai City comms room. The feed broadcasts directly to the civilization management terminals of every major city. The researchers stare at you eating. Their eyes are practically popping out of their heads. A young doctor's voice trembles. Is he eating that giant lizard? The female doctor next to him turns ghostly pale. The flesh of a supernatural creature. And he just pan-fried it? He should be studying that. Using it for organ regeneration experiments. Cultivating super antibiotics. We could even use it to grow mutated plant seeds. That single bite. The female doctor pauses, her voice shaking. That single bite might be worth 10 million in research funding. Another researcher chimes in. Money doesn't matter anymore. The female doctor glares at him. Then it's 10 million worth of scientific resources. This isn't just a waste. This is like taking the hearts of researchers and searing them on that griddle. And right at that moment, you sigh at the blank screen again. Eating this stuff every day gets kind of old. I'd kill for some plain white rice. The comms room falls dead silent. A few seconds later, someone mutters, I don't really feel sorry for him anymore. Is he just showing off? The female doctor clutches her chest. The ultimate humble brag. I have to scrape by just to run experiments. And he's getting tired of eating supernatural meat? How is that fair? Zhang Wei stares at the screen, his mouth twitching. Stop agonizing over it. At least this proves one thing. And it's extremely high-quality food. As soon as he says this, everyone finally calms down a bit. Yeah, he's alive. And he's got enough energy to complain about wanting rice. That's good news. Just then, another communicator rings. The 6th branch of human civilization is requesting comms. Zhang Wei immediately orders, put them through. The screen lights up, and Professor Edward appears. He gets straight to the point. Professor Zhang, is this young man from your Yunhai city? Did he somehow find a way to enter the Pangaea continent? We need to know his method. It is very important to all of humanity. Zhang Wei paused for half a second, then smiled. I can only answer one question. This young man who accidentally wandered into Pangu continent is indeed from our Yunhai city. The rest is highly classified. Professor Edward narrowed his eyes. So, do you guys have any way to contact him? Zhang Wei countered, does your city have any long-distance telepaths? Edward caught on immediately, so you can't reach him either. He gave a slight smile. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone like that at the moment. But we can always make a trade. Zhang Wei sat up straight. I'm listening, Edward explained. The core is still functioning, otherwise the video feed wouldn't be coming through. So, we can bypass the screen and audio, and use its other functions to reach him. Zhang Hui's gaze sharpened. The vibration channel. Edward raised a hand, signaling his assistant to get to work. The very next second, the massive iron sphere in the Yunhai City comms room suddenly began to vibrate. It even let out a short, sharp alarm. Everyone instantly snapped their heads toward the sphere. Zhang Hui's eyes lit up. It actually has a feature like that? Edward nodded. A backup channel. The screen is dead, the speakers are shot, but the hardware's vibration might still be intact. We are willing to share how it's done. You guys can be the ones to send this vibration to Chenfan. Zhang Wei fell silent. Edward pressed on. Time moves 100 times faster for him. If you hesitate for even just a few minutes, a very long time will have passed on his end. Professor Zhang, first let him know that humanity can hear him. That struck right at the core. Zhang Wei didn't delay any longer. You will remember this favor. Edward smiled. We can talk about a proper trade later. Cooperation is far more valuable than mutual suspicion. Zhang Wei nodded, at least for now. Meanwhile, on Penghu continent, sitting in front of the iron sphere, you were getting pretty annoyed. The screen was still pitch black. No sound, no response. You lifted your foot and gave it a solid kick. The higher your hopes, the harder the fall. You just couldn't keep your temper in check. You cursed out the iron sphere a few times. Did you guys even hear me or what? Come on, give me something. Hearing you yell, the wolf pack came rushing over. They completely surrounded you, shaking their heads and happily wagging their tails. Several huge tails slapped against your body, whipping back and forth just like little brooms. You twitched your brow as you got whacked. I was calling for the humans, not you guys. Just then, the little wolf pups also squeezed their way over. During that week you were recovering, the mother wolves had given birth. Litter after litter. Suddenly, there were over a dozen new little guys running around the camp. Still wobbling on their feet, one little pup pounced right at your ankles. Letting out a soft, milky little howl, its big round eyes stared up at you. It was a direct, critical hit on your willpower. No way, I can't feed you guys. You're wolves. The little pup hugged your ankle and kept on whining. You managed to hold out for exactly 3 seconds. Before pulling out a small dried fish, the pup swallowed it whole in one gulp, its tail wagging a mile a minute. You smacked your forehead hard. Why did I feed you again? You pointed an angry finger right at the old wolf. This is all your fault. You started this. The old wolf's leg still hadn't healed, leaving it hobbling around with a heavy limp. It let out a pitiful little whimper. The whole wolf pack's being matriarchal thing has nothing to do with me. You gave it a gentle kick. Stop faking it. From now on, you're leading them on hunts. If you want to eat meat, catch it yourself. Stop coming here to mooch off me every single day. I can't keep spoiling you guys. You grabbed another handful of dried fish and tossed it out. Then, you completely froze. Why did I feed them again? God, why is my willpower so incredibly weak? Right at that moment, buzz, buzz buzz, giant metal sphere suddenly vibrated twice. You whipped your head around. It moved, you rushed over, your pupils shrinking. You slammed your hands right onto the metal shell. Did I actually make contact? But the very next second, the excited smile froze right on your face. It was just the cold, giant iron sphere heating up. And immediately after, beep, a long, piercing alarm suddenly blasted. Your heart skipped a beat, and you instantly leapt half a step back. Don't tell me this thing is about to blow. You stared at it, hesitating for a couple of seconds. Then, you decisively shut the power off. Forget it, my life is way more important. I am not letting you blow up my precious base. Meanwhile, over at the Supernatural Research Institute, the screen instantly went blue. The other party has disconnected. Would you like to initiate a new communication request? The entire meeting room erupted into chaos. He cut the feed. Hurry, re-establish the connection. Please wait, initiating contact with the Meta civilization. But a long time passed, with zero response. Professor Zhang Wei slapped himself right on the forehead. Damn it, we tried to help, but we completely messed it up. Someone asked frantically, weren't we just trying to tell him that he successfully contacted humanity? Zhang Wei took a deep breath. The problem is, there is a huge chance he has no idea how to read Morse code. Plus, our time flows at completely different speeds. 1 second over here is 100 seconds over there. And we couldn't even send continuous vibrations. He waited forever, only to get a single buzz followed by a loud alarm. If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you shut it off too? The whole room fell dead silent. Zhang Wei rubbed his temples. Well, the good news is, The alarm vibration channel actually works. The bad news? The amount of information was way too small, and Chen Fan completely misunderstood it. Zhang Wei immediately picked up the phone and called the informatics expert, Shang Xingwen. Professor Shang listened, and immediately groaned. Professor Zhang, this request of yours is honestly a bit ridiculous. The buzzer can only make simple beeping sounds. That is literally how it is physically built. Zhang Wei spoke rapidly. I'm not asking for much. Just do enough so he knows he actually contacted humanity. And please, tell him not to turn the machine off. Professor Shang fell silent for a couple of seconds. Something simpler than Morse code. It's going to be tough, but I'll find some people to give it a shot. Soon after, a whole group of experts swarmed around the metal sphere and got straight to work. It can emit square waves and triangle waves. If we combine them, can we simulate more complex syllables? 1 hour in the safe zone equals several days on his end. If we drag this out, he might literally be dead. But right at that very moment, a voice echoed simultaneously in everyone's minds. Item attribute system. Successfully generated. Extraordinary items are categorized into poor, normal, fine, excellent, legendary, epic, immortal, and mythic. 8 tiers in total. Once you possess the relevant appraisal skills, you will be able to identify the tier and effects of extraordinary items. Zhang Vui's face instantly dropped. Why on earth would the Interstellar Alliance update the equipment system at a time like this? Meanwhile, outside the Pangu continent shelter, you were sitting on a rock, focusing on your cultivation. The extraordinary spark was slowly pulsing within you. Then suddenly, that cold, robotic voice dropped out of nowhere. Item attribute system generation complete. Extraordinary item tiers unlocked. Equipment system. The wolf beside you has no reaction. The little wolf cubs are still playfully biting each other. It seems only intelligent lifeforms can hear the prompt. You don't overthink it, immediately taking out your 3 extraordinary items for appraisal. The pattern on the back of the juvenile hell spider can cause mental shock. Crimson crystal, rare tier. Fire salamander leather, common tier. As for the fuel crystal, it's unranked. You raise an eyebrow. The standards are pretty high. Your eyes change as you stare at the fire salamander leather. A crafted extraordinary item will most likely trigger a new milestone. You jump to your feet, driven by a very simple motive. To get ahead of all other civilizations. With a 100 times time dilation, and knowing that milestones give rewards. That is your ultimate advantage. Time to get to work. You walk into the shelter and turn the large sphere back on. The indicator lights up. This time, there's no vibration and no blaring alarms. You breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, as long as it doesn't blow up. I don't care if human civilization can hear me or not. I'm only showing this once. The legendary milestone. You've never tanned leather before. But you know raw hides can't just be left out any longer, and it's ruined. Step 1, cleaning and degreasing. You dig out a bucket of degraded powder from the ruins. It looks like laundry detergent. The leftover sodium carbonate and sodium silicate should have some cleaning power. The conditions suck, but you make do. You throw the fire salamander hide in and soak it for 2 whole days. Then, you scrape off the fat with a pocket knife. Pioneer's eye pops up a prompt. Fire salamander leather, common tier minus. Your eyelid twitches. It's degrading in quality. You grit your teeth and keep working. This isn't just a piece of hide. This is your future shirt, pants, and shoes. This is the gear you need to survive on the Pangu continent. After drying it, the prompt changes again. Partially cleaned extraordinary creature leather. Your face darkens. 2 minus signs. Don't push it. The pioneer's eye continues to prompt. Alum is required. It can enhance elasticity, durability, waterproofing, and wrinkle resistance. You slap your forehead. The chemical plant ruins might have some. You yell out, "Let's go, old wolf. Time to scavenge for some trash." Chen Fan has reconnected. The research institute erupts in excitement. But this time, no one dares to spam the vibration. They are waiting for a new signaling protocol. If they scare him into shutting it down again, they'd be in massive trouble. You've been working on the Pangu continent for days. But in the safe zone, barely over an hour has passed. The amount of footage being transmitted is overwhelming. The institute immediately brings in more people. Grad students, doctoral candidates, psychologists, and materials experts. Someone watches the screen and whispers, He's deliberately aiming the camera at his workspace. He's not sure if we can see this, but he still wants to share his journey. A psychologist takes notes. Sharing life updates is his coping mechanism against loneliness. Another person stares at the heavy hides you are dragging. His physical strength is unnatural. A normal person would have collapsed from exhaustion doing all this. Could it be he has more than one ability? Log this first. Just then, someone pointed at the corner of the screen. Wait, are those city ruins? On the screen, collapsed buildings and rusted rebar flashed by in an instant. The conference room fell dead silent. The meta-civilization, it really is wiped out. No one said a word, because everyone was thinking the exact same thing. What about the first 8 eras? What happened to those civilizations? In the end, only heavy silence remained. A moment later, the materials expert spoke up. His tanning method is pretty rough. But pulling this off all by himself? That's actually not bad. He must be planning for long-term survival. Right on cue, back on the screen. You lugged one massive bucket of stuff back to the shelter, your face beaming with the joy of a great harvest. You heaved the plastic bucket up, dumped alum into the water, and tossed in some industrial salt. Then, you started stirring the giant vat. Man, that leather was ridiculously heavy. Each piece weighed over 100 pounds. You stirred with all your might, trying to find the humor in this grueling labor. Penghu Continent, 9th era, 4:15 in the morning. Old Chen, sleeping in his rundown shack, gets barked awake by a wolf. The wolf howls, "Awoo," which roughly translates to, "Get to work." You cracked yourself up just saying that out loud. But hey, you possessed the transcendent spark, plus an eternal body. As long as your core energy wasn't damaged, you'd bounce right back the next day. Plus, your 3 main stats were leveling up fast. That fire salamander meat definitely didn't go to waste. You figured you had to be one of the strongest humans in the world by now, right? The fire salamander hide turned from fiery red to a deep maroon, and that awful stench had mostly faded away. You instantly cast appraisal, crudely tanned transcendent creature leather. Due to sloppy and rough craftsmanship, the quality has drastically dropped. Hidden ability, high heat resistance. Inactive, the smile on your face vanished instantly. You rushed over to check it out. The whole stack of leather was graded as inferior. You busted your ass for so long, only for the quality to completely tank. Factory made is cheap, handcrafted is where the true luxury is at. What the hell does the Interstellar Alliance know anyway? The leather was beyond saving. You just had to cope and console yourself. It's fine, even inferior items have a grade. As long as I craft it into gear, it'll still trigger the milestone. I am the god of handcrafting. Next, you gathered your needle and thread. The needle was a leg from a hell spider, and the thread was vine bark dropped by a piranha plant. You nodded in satisfaction. These materials were absolutely top tier. You didn't know the first thing about sewing, but you figured just jabbing the needle back and forth between 2 hides would work out eventually. Your first project was a sleeping bag. Sleeping without a blanket gave you 0 sense of security. You picked out the softest skin from the fire salamander's belly. It felt just like a plush carpet. Thinking it over, you decided to make it a double-sized bag. Bigger is always better, right? The old wolf trotted over and rolled around on your new sleeping bag. You immediately kicked him away. Get lost, this is my bed. Just then, the little wolf pups charged over too. Over a dozen little furballs claimed the sleeping bag, playfully biting each other with tiny, baby growls. You couldn't bear to smack them, watching with a totally fond, fatherly smile. Alright, I'll let you guys test out the luxury king bed first. 3 hours later, the sleeping bag was fully finished. You immediately inspect it. The salamander's sleeping bag is stitched together using low-grade magical beast leather. It provides outstanding warmth and decent comfort, but the craftsmanship is absolutely dreadful to look at. Your face stiffens as you stare at the final 4 words. Not a magical item. Then what about the milestone? You immediately start frantically flipping through the data on the meta-civilization. Soon enough, you catch on to the key point. Fire salamander leather has high heat resistance. But once the fire salamander dies, that ability goes dormant. Without activation, it is just ordinary leather. The guide gives 3 methods. First, physical synthesis. Using microcurrents to simulate nerve signals. You immediately shake your head. Where the heck am I supposed to get microcurrents? Second method, catalytic synthesis. using materials with opposing elements to trigger each other. You just keep shaking your head. The Meta civilization spent 300 years just to scratch the surface. If I start learning now, I will be dead before I figure it out. Third method, spiritual synthesis. Relying entirely on talent and pure instinct, depending on a master craftsman's sudden flash of inspiration. You stare at your own crooked stitches and fall silent. Yeah, I get it, I am definitely no master craftsman. You turn to look at another item, the back pattern of a juvenile hell spider. It creates a mental deterrent. Excellent tier, natural wonder. This pattern's ability is already naturally active. Your breathing grows heavy. Using it to craft gear will definitely yield a ranked item. An excellent tier material is still incredible even if it drops 2 whole tiers. But you do not start right away, because there is only one. You won't be finding better materials anytime soon, so you need to practice first. Let's make a bed for the old wolf. The old wolf loves it, and the little pups do too. Then you start crafting leather coats, leather jackets, leather pants, one piece after another. You work hard all day long. When you get hungry, you eat fire salamander meat. When you get tired, you take a nap. Your tailoring skill goes from rusty to fully proficient. You work faster and faster. That little metal sphere is still glowing. You were so busy that you completely forgot to turn it off. As you stitch the leather, you suddenly remember the college entrance exams back on Earth. You stayed up late and woke up early every day, making it look like you were trying so hard. But most of the time you were just zoning out, so your scores were just painfully average. You went to an ordinary college and lived a completely ordinary life. Thinking about all that makes you a little sad. If heaven gave me just one more chance. The needle and thread in your hands suddenly pause. What would I do? A thought suddenly hits your brain and body at the exact same time. I am reborn, shouldn't I hurry up and get a girlfriend? Wait, no. Shouldn't I be studying hard to get into a top-tier university? Your thoughts are racing, but your hands never stop moving. Over a month goes by, and you have made 5 leather coats, 5 pairs of pants, 10 pairs of underwear, 20 pairs of socks, and 3 pairs of boots. You stretch your fingers out and just cannot help but laugh. I have really mastered this craft. It is just a shame that none of them activated any inner abilities. They aren't supernatural items. The pioneer's eye gives its evaluation. A pair of carefully crafted leather shoes with high durability. Without triggering supernatural effects, they cannot be classified as an artificial wonder. You let out a long breath. You really cannot find any major flaws anymore. Time for the main course. You take out the back pattern of the juvenile hell spider. Then, you pick out the thickest piece of fire salamander leather. You are going to make a leather shield. The leather from the fire salamander's hindquarters is the hardest. It is thick and tough, absolutely perfect for a shield. You carefully embed the palm-sized spider pattern right into the leather. It is easier said than done. The whole process is incredibly delicate work. Finally, a round leather shield is finished. 70 centimeters in diameter. You can hold it in your left hand, or strap it tightly to your arm. Right in the dead center is that spider pattern, looking just like a blood-red eyeball. You grip the shield in your left hand. You grab a tree branch in your right hand and charge straight at the wolf pack. Let's test this baby out. The little wolf pups grew fast, gaining over 10 pounds in just a month. When they see the shield, they freeze and stare wide-eyed at first. But the very next second, they turn tail and bolt, yelping in terror as they run away. Only the old wolf circled you with a look of absolute disdain. It had figured this thing out a long time ago, knowing it was just a lifeless object. I gotta say, that old wolf actually has some tricks up its sleeve. Then, suppressing your excitement, you use the pioneer's eye to appraise it. Leather shield, a defensive weapon crafted from multiple materials. The eyeball pattern in the center has the effect of shaking the enemy's mind. Due to crude crafting methods, the material's full potential was not realized. Artificial artifact, inferior grade. Your face completely froze. Man, I used up all my very best materials for this. And it still came out as inferior grade? Well, at least I reached my goal. The very next second, that familiar, icy voice rang out. Congratulations on unlocking a unique milestone. Transcendent Artisan, the very first individual across all civilizations to forge a supernatural item. You have received the unique milestone reward, Artisan's Talent, and Daedalus's Sewing Kit. Commencing teleportation. Your eyes instantly lit up. I knew it, I was totally right. A beam of white light crashed straight into your mind. It felt like a massive load of knowledge was being forcefully shoved right into your soul. You passed out on the spot, drenched in a cold sweat. Amidst the fierce competition of countless civilizations, you were the absolute first to create a supernatural item. A few hours later, still dripping with sweat, you crawled up, grabbed a cup, and furiously chugged down some water. Right in front of you sat a large, ancient bronze chest. And a brand new passive ability had also appeared. Your spatial imagination has drastically improved. You are now far more proficient at handling any kind of tool. You will occasionally experience bursts of inspiration, allowing you to find traces of order within the supernatural world. You picked up a needle and thread, and a wave of intense familiarity instantly washed over you. It felt like you had been sewing for 60 straight years. Man, you're a bit late to the party, you muttered. I've practically burned through all my materials. Still, having this is way better than nothing. Now let's see what this Daedalus's sewing kit is really all about. You walked over and popped open the chest right in front of you. Inside was a red box. You opened that one, too. And inside was a blue box. Your expression grew weirder by the second. Are you kidding me? A nesting doll? You continuously popped open 7 or 8 boxes in a row. Finally, you revealed a tiny crystal case about the size of a pencil box. Inside lay an antique bronze pair of scissors, a dagger, a ruler-like tool, and 12 needles of varying sizes. There was also a little golden booklet. The Pioneer's Eye provided the details. Daedalus's sewing kit, 7th epic, Cretan civilization. A mysterious relic left behind by the master tailor, Daedalus. This master committed crimes against civilization. Right before his execution, he tossed it into an alternate dimension, arrogantly declaring, "From this day forth, no one shall ever inherit my legacy." But every alternate dimension shatters eventually, and this toolset happened to be picked up by you. You looked up at the sky. That phrasing is a bit shameless, don't you think? It was clearly given to me as a reward, but they're making it sound like I just happened to find it lying around. Then, it suddenly hit you. The Interstellar Alliance doesn't actually produce anything at all. They're just glorified delivery guys. All the rewards I'm getting are just leftovers from other civilizations. The Pioneer's Eye continued to display the info. Contains Daedalus's personal crafting insights. Artificial artifact, masterpiece grade. You sharply inhaled a breath of cold air. A masterpiece grade toolkit? You had busted your ass just to craft one measly inferior grade shield. And this reward instantly handed you a masterpiece grade toolkit. This is an absolute godsend. You eagerly picked up the pair of scissors. Soothing, warm sensation immediately washed over your hands. Daedalus's scissors, masterpiece grade equipment resonance power. When used with absolute focus, form increases by 8.1%, and chi increases by 3.3%. Your eyes widened in shock. It actually boosts my stats? This isn't just a tool, it's a piece of gear. The scissors possessed 2 distinct abilities. The shredder easily slices through the vast majority of materials. Flawless cut ensures perfectly smooth edges without leaving a single burr. Too bad it's so small, or it'd make a great weapon. You pick up the dagger again. It's 25 centimeters long, with a faint gleam along its bronze edge. Daedalus's skinning knife, trait, unstoppable sharpness, can slice through almost any hide. Excellent tier gear, resonance power. When used with focus, form increases by 9.2%, chi by 3.3%, and spirit by 4.5%. You give it a couple of test swings. Now this could work as a weapon. Next, you pick up the ruler. This is the true core of the toolkit. Press it against the hide, and it can actually sense the mystical energy lines inside. You press it against the leather shield you just made. Sure enough, a faint, pulse-like throbbing echoes from within. Too bad your rough crafting completely ruined a lot of those energy lines. It actually hurts a little to look at. Alright, whatever, at least it still works. Daedalus's ruler, excellent tier gear, resonance power. When used with focus, spirit increases by 8.9%. Finally, there's the little golden booklet. The pages are crammed with sesame-sized text and bizarre diagrams. Daedalus's lost manual contains knowledge on applying mystical materials and advanced tailoring techniques. But you're missing the foundational knowledge. Hell, even the almighty Pioneer's Eye can't translate it. You're thrilled but frustrated at the same time. Okay, Yeah, it's seriously overpowered. This reward is incredibly valuable to any civilization. The fact that the 7th epic Cretan civilization could develop excellent tier gear means their tech was light years ahead of humanity. Especially this resonance power. The gear feels almost alive. If human scientists could get their hands on this, they'd definitely uncover a goldmine of knowledge. But for you, right now, it's pretty useless. You don't have the scientific background, and you sure as hell don't have a whole industrial complex. The most you can do is use the dagger to stab things. You'd totally hit the jackpot. Yet you still can't help but sigh. What a waste, such a massive waste. You even start to wonder if being the first to craft a normal tier item would have unlocked a whole new milestone too. But one person can't hog all the rewards. Besides, a free magical dagger is a free magical dagger. Once I dig up a few more ruins, I'll probably figure it out. You force yourself to calm down. Next step is to make your life out here a bit more comfortable. That's when you notice the giant metal sphere nearby. It's been running for almost 2 months now, and that little red indicator light is still blinking. You know full well it's a piece of junk, but you still put on a cool, mysterious act and speak into it. Did you see that, humanity? This is a milestone reward. I am the first civilization to craft a supernatural item, so the Interstellar Alliance rewarded me. You pat your leather shield and pick the dagger back up. Take the lead once, keep the lead forever. A truly powerful civilization must always stay ahead of the pack. After saying that, you feel significantly better. Who cares if the signal actually went through? At least it felt good to say. You've been stranded on the Pangea continent for 5 months now. You've basically sorted out your food, clothes, shelter, and transport. But for the humans back in the safe zone? Less than 2 days have passed. Yunhai City has been absolutely crushed by this new reality. The currency collapsed, and bank servers were wiped completely clean. Mortgages and life savings are a chaotic mess, and the internet is exploding with panic. The bank can't find my account. Does that mean I don't have to pay my mortgage anymore? I don't even own a house, what about me? My landlord told me to get out. He said cash is just toilet paper now. Don't do anything stupid, just find food first. The supermarkets are looted. I only have 2 days of food left. Does anyone have fever meds? The hospitals are closed. Once the economy crashed, civil order went down right with it. Right now, only one thing matters. Over at the Yunhai City Hall Plaza, a massive, dense crowd of tens of thousands of people has gathered. Li Chunong has only slept for 4 hours. His eyes are completely bloodshot. Gripping a heavy megaphone, he screams over the noise. Listen to me, everyone, please calm down. Let me explain the latest policies to you all. Rule number 1. We are guaranteeing the right to housing